What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I'm going to help you decide if you should buy Assassin's Creed Unity. So the point of this video is to take a comprehensive look at every single aspect of the game and kind of come to a conclusion. Is this game worth your $60? Is it worth your money? And of course all of this is my opinion, so keep that in mind as well. So to give you a perspective on how much I played this game, I have 6 hours of playtime on the Xbox One version. So keep that in mind. I think something really important to note before we get started is this is a sequel. This is absolutely an Assassin's Creed sequel. We know that 6 to 7 Assassin's Creed games have been released to date, and this is the same core experience as all of those games. There's a bunch of parkour, a bunch of climbing, a bunch of assassinating, Templars versus Assassins. It's the same core experience with a few minor changes. And I think the most important conversation here is there enough new here to warrant, a purchase of a game that's been released 6 times already? It's not the same game, but again, we're getting the same core experience. There's nothing really groundbreaking with this game. So let's talk about the story. I'm not going to get into spoilers because I know that's important, because I'm helping you guys, decide if you want to buy the game, not spoiling the game or reviewing the game. But the story is pretty typical. There's nothing really groundbreaking going on. Again, it's Assassins versus Templars, and that's really all you get with the game. And the main character is, I like him. He's kind of interesting. He's not an Ezio. He's not like, oh my gosh, the best assassin so far or main character so far. But I do enjoy Arnaud. He's an interesting character, at least from what I've seen so far. So I think what really shines in this game is the setting. It is beautiful. We are in 18th century French Revolution. I think it's one of the best settings in an Assassin's Creed game since we were in Rome with Ezio and Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Those were great settings. I think this is really a great setting, and it might even be the best setting after it's all said and done, because this time around they have a 1-to-1 scale of the city. So everything is to exact size of what it was, during that time. Of course, there are, a little bit of changes because they can't, completely do the same exact building structure and everything. But anyways, there's so much detail in this game, and I think we can really attribute that to the fact that this is the first new-gen only Assassin's Creed. So that's a huge part of why this game is, in my opinion, really good. So the next thing is gameplay with the combat. The combat is definitely refined in this game, and Assassin's Creed has typically had really weak combat systems, but it's been really pretty, and that's pretty much the same thing that's going on here, but I think it's a little more refined. Something about the way they've tuned the combat in this game, it's not as you can just take on 10 guys and you're fine. I think you guys just saw me die. I died to only 3 people there, and it wasn't because I'm just terrible, but it's because it legitimately is, the guys kill you quicker in this game, so you can't get into 20-on-1 battles. And that also gets me to the fact that this game is the most stealth-friendly Assassin's Creed thus far, because there is a stealth mode. For the first time, you can actually crouch and kind of skulk around and, go into an actual stealthy mode as an actual assassin. And I think that really adds to the gameplay experience, whereas before you were kind of an assassin, but most of the time you'd get into these sword fights. You are in less sword fights in this game if you are very careful about what you're doing. And so another thing that they add is the free run down system. Instead of having to fall off of a really tall building, you'll be able to just free run downwards, and your guy will act like he's free running upwards, but down a building, so you won't just fall off and die. That was a really annoying part of Assassin's Creed before this game, and I think they really addressed it in a smart way. So another thing that's in this game is the customization. There are hundreds of armor pieces and weapons that are all unique, have different stats, and that's just another, like I said, minor addition. It doesn't change the core experience. However, it's a really cool addition to a game that's been made 7 times over. And the final major thing that's different with this game is the addition of a co-op mode. And I have not played co-op mode so far, only because I don't really have any close friends that have the game. However, from what I've seen and from what I know of the co-op mode, it is strictly side missions. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that you don't do anything really substantial with the story when you're doing the side co-op missions. So they're just fun ways to interact with friends, and that's always something that really enhances an experience, especially when you can play this game and pretty much be done with it in about 15 hours. So There have been major technical issues with this game, huge technical issues. Most notably, the frame rate drops in high-density crowds, and in this game there can be 200 NPCs on the screen at once, and that's when the frame rate does drop. There's also some texture pop-in problems with cutscenes, and also the frame rate on cutscenes seems to drop at times as well. So keep in mind that these problems are magnified on PlayStation 4 and PC. For some reason, that's just how it is. I can only give you an opinion on the technical issue side of it if you're playing on Xbox One, and honestly, it hasn't affected me that much. I've said maybe 3 times, wow, this is terrible, I can't believe this, in my 6 hours played. And for me, I think all of the other parts of this game that I really enjoy really overshadow that. So if you are on PC or PlayStation 4, keep in mind that these issues are magnified, and Ubisoft is saying they're going to fix them, but we don't know to which extent they're going to fix them, to be honest. So what is the verdict on this game? I think if you're an Assassin's Creed fan and you haven't played the game in a few years, this is the perfect game for you. And if you're on, the new gen consoles, you want a really nice, solid title, this is definitely one to get. If you play Assassin's Creed every year, I also think this is worth your money, because this is basically back to the core aspect of Assassin's Creed. We've kind of taken, a hiatus from that with Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag. Both of those games were not typical games. They had, sprawled out environments. One was on the sea, one was in the American colonies where there weren't a bunch of buildings. There are a ton of buildings in this game, and it's back to its core kind of gameplay experience, along with the stealth and all the other little additions that kind of make the game unique. So anyways, guys, that's my verdict on the game, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope I was able to help you out, and I will talk to you all next time. Peace!